This is the view on our way to Hickory Run, and the Poconos definitely has some really beautiful views on your way in, just of the mountains and everything that you can see from so high up. Good morning, it's Marie and welcome back to my channel. So today we're headed up to the Poconos for a wedding. We're gonna stop at Hickory Run State Park and see the cemetery and hopefully the historical mansion. And we're gonna take a look around at one of those parks, and it's right on the way. We're staying up at the Pocono Mountains and it's at the Skytop Lodge. So this is Hickory Run State Park, and this is located in the area of the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and this would be northeastern Pennsylvania. And Hickory Run State Park features a wide variety of attractions. There's an old historical church, waterfalls, hiking trails, and a boulder field, which I thought was really cool. So we are walking on the Sand Spring Trail, and there's actually a little waterfall over here somewhere along the way that I saw when we were coming in. This is Hickory Run State Park. There's a little bridge we're crossing over it. Hickory Run State Park has an interesting history. It also has many scenic hiking trails, camping, picnicking, fishing, and swimming. The Visitor Center has a room with interactive exhibits that explain different parts of the park, such as Boulder Field. It also has the history of the flood of 1849. You can listen to a recording of Joanna Gould's account of the flood. As for some of the park history, the Leahy Canal was finished in 1829. A group of men bought land nearby and began building mills to produce lumber. Among them were brothers Stephen and Isaac Gould. By 1839, the town of Hickory Run was established, and there were 6 mills in the area. All the logging led to floods. A few dams broke October 30th, 1849 that led to flooding in Hickory Run. There's a cemetery located near the Visitor Center where the 7 victims of the flood, as well as other people, are buried. Jacob West, a town blacksmith, survived the flood, but his wife and 4 children died and are buried in the cemetery. The Gould family also suffered tragedy. From the 1860s to the 1870s, Stephen Gould might have been one of the richest men in the Leahy Valley area. He and his older brother Isaac made their money from lumber mills. At the time of the flood, Isaac lived with his wife and 7 children. His daughter, Joanna Gould, documented the flood events, which can be heard in the Visitor Center. I will also include a link to where you can read her experience in her own words. That last week of October, with all the rain and Isaac being away from home, mill workers warned Isaac's wife Susan to leave the house for higher ground. Not having her husband there to help her make a decision, she stayed. That evening, Isaac's daughter Lizzie, only 11, came home and warned her family of a possible flood. At 4 in the morning, the dam burst. The house was washed away 500 feet from its foundation. Susan was able to help Joanna and her sons to safety, including her infant son. She couldn't find Lizzie, but heard her calls for help. The mill workers brought her lifeless body to Susan, and a few weeks after the flood, the infant son also died due to exposure. In the 1850s, Isaac left the business and moved the remainder of his family to New Jersey. Stephen let his 2 sons take over the lumber mill not long after, and he also moved. The flood had forever changed both men and their families. The town rebuilt and the logging continued. Forest fires became their next problem. The Great Fire of 1875 not only burned down the forest, but it also destroyed mills and houses. The old chapel, manor house, and cemetery can still be seen today. The manor house was once the home of Samuel Gould. They're all that's left of the town of Hickory Run. Harry Trexler bought the land of Hickory Run area in 1918. He hoped it would become a state park one day.
I hear
That was quite.
she is calling me. Under Mother's direction, the men wrought diligently, and down under the driftwood, beneath the wrecked house, we found the lifeless body of Lizzie. On the way to my uncle's, we saw the havoc which had been created on every side. Many other lives were lost.
So, piece of advice. If y'all are ditzy like us, do your research beforehand, because when you get in the park, you won't know where anything's at, because it's hard to find, and the cemetery's out of the way, and the manor house is out of the way, so you won't know where anything is. And don't show up wearing flip-flops either, because there are poison ivy everywhere. And me, being the dummy I am, we're Birkenstocks in the woods on a hiking trail. So that's just like a little advice segment, a PSA for you all. Sorry, I was told I was grammatically incorrect. It's not our poison ivy everywhere, it is poison ivy everywhere. Anyways, my point, I made my statement. It is what it is. So we just got done driving around and walking around Hickory Run State Park. We went to the visitor center. We tried to find the cemetery and we didn't find the manor house, but we found the chapel and we got to see some waterfalls as well. We saw the one in the creek next to the chapel, and then across the road they also had a little bridge and then a miniature one. It was kind of overgrown and hidden by these pine trees in the back, but it was still really, really pretty. And now we're on the road again on our way to the Poconos and Skytop Lodge. So right now we're in the hotel parking lot. We made it and we're gonna just get ready for the rehearsal dinner. We have to wait a little bit to check in though, maybe like 5 minutes. And after that, we're getting ready for the rehearsal dinner at Skytop Lodge. So we're on our way to the rehearsal dinner at Skytop Lodge. We checked into our hotel late and we had to get ready last minute. And so we tried to get dressed up to the best of our ability. But right now we're on the road up the mountain to Skytop Lodge. And the dinner starts at 5. Well, I have to be there at 5 because I'm doing a reading. But it actually starts at 5:30 and it's currently 4:35 and we're not even there yet. And we have a long way to go with the traffic and just the general direction that we're going, so it's kind of yikes. And this is Skytop Lodge. Skytop Lodge is a resort, features a wide variety of attractions as well, and this is located in the Poconos, and my aunt was actually getting married here, so we stay the weekend, and we're about to go up there to a wedding rehearsal. Skytop definitely was one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been. My favorite part was the flowers on the courtyard. They had like flowers covering the walls. I actually have a clip of it. It was so pretty.